It's not pure Formula One. It's probably like Formula E on steroids. I don't care if I win 4 or 8. I mean, I want to live my life. I mean, the temperature is good. I mean, it's nice and warm actually for testing. Yeah, I mean, I did yesterday, of course, the like a full day, which I think was good. I mean, we did a lot of laps. And we just checking a lot of stuff, new regulations. Not easy. It's very complicated, everything. But yeah, we are running, we're running well. We don't have issues, nothing crazy, let's say like that. I mean, you always run into little trouble in testing every single year, but it's been good going through our testing program and trying to prepare as well as we can, before we head to Australia. Yeah, I mean, exactly like you said. I mean, that of course doesn't change. Just the car has less grip. It accelerates a lot faster out of the corner. But of course, also, the whole layout of the car is completely different. The tires are different. The way you have to drive it around the corner is very different because the grip is also generated a little bit differently, less through the floor. So yeah, you are sliding around probably a little bit more, and then you have more power coming out of the corner. So with less grip, that's a bit harder to manage. And of course, it depends also a bit what kind of corner you're coming out of. So the lower speed corners, you're just waiting a longer period of time to go full throttle and stuff. Now you definitely need to rethink your driving and approach. I think the word that you can use for the whole year will be management. I think that's the right word. At the end of the day, when you go into competition, you will always do the best you can with what you have because it's the same for everyone. I mean, sometimes things can be more enjoyable than others. And for me personally, it's not so enjoyable. But I do know, of course, that when I sit in the car, I will always give it my best because also the people, of course, that have designed the car and the engine, of course, this year, which, I mean, has been honestly incredible to witness how these guys have started from zero, is running well. Like we don't have any issues. Is it fast enough? I have no idea. We have to wait and see. But it's just incredible to work with all these great people. And for me to then say, of course, that it's the least enjoyable is not very nice. But I also want to say that I know that when I sit in the car, of course, I will always give it my very best. Not really enjoyable. I mean, it's not pure Formula One. If anything, I could tell you it's probably like Formula E on steroids. I think as a driver, though, like you have to believe that you are always the best, right? I mean, that should be the approach. I mean, you have to say to yourself, I can beat anyone. And I mean, I am all for that, also for everyone. So, and I was like that when I started in F1. My first year, I was like, well, if you give me the car, I will win the championship. You have to make mistakes, you have to learn from them. And that is better to happen in a car that is not capable of fighting for a title. It hurts a little bit less. So actually, I'm very happy, of course, with the approach that I had in my first year, being a bit in the middle, fighting for points, but still, of course, also have some silly mistakes. And I think that's good to start like that. Genk was my home track. I mean, I can dream. I think if you turn off the lights in the night and I drive, I think I can still drive the track, just eyes closed. I'm constantly thinking about how also I can like improve or find performance. Like I'm never satisfied, with any kind of, I mean, result. I always come out of a weekend, I'm like, could we have tried something else? Could we have tried more? And I think it's always that hunger of trying to find more performance. Like my dad from a young age always told me, like, even when you win races, it's never good enough. Could I have done this better? Or could I have looked into this detail more? Or could we have looked into the engine more? Like, could we have had a different setup? And that's what I also try to apply. This is also what I always try to explain to this in the sim racing team, to my sim drivers, that you ask them the question, like, have you tried everything? Have you, yeah, no, we have the setup for the race. We all, we're set. I'm like, are you sure? I mean, I would still change the setup like the night or in the middle of the night before the race because I was still not happy with it. Maybe others already for 1 or 2 days had the setup like set and they were happy with it, because I always feel like even in the final moments before you get into the race, that's sometimes where you still find like a little bit more performance. I mean, honestly, what I find really impressive is that, I mean, he's 53 years old now, almost 54, and he's racing against guys that are, I mean, what, late 20s, early 30s. And in some championships, of course, he's beating them. Yeah, he's very good at it, to be honest. Like he loves it. He's very hard to beat. Like when we go into like let's say you rent like a little space on an airport and they set out a track and then you drive together. Like honestly, like I have to go flat out to beat him. You know that I like doing, but on a like in between like a proper stage. And I mean, he shares me all the videos that he's doing in whatever kind of rally car that he's driving. And I mean, I find it really impressive. I think it's really cool. But I just think about if I make a mistake and I hit that tree, I mean, the tree is not moving. That for me is like my limit. That for me is something that, yeah, I don't want to do. It's just a too high of a risk. And I know that sounds maybe a bit silly, but in Formula One, at least, or most of the time when you crash, it's like, you know, there is a barrier, like a proper designed barrier that should absorb the impact a bit more. And yeah, it's a bit different in my head, but it is really cool to see. And I mean, also like the Monaco Rally in WRC, like it's unbelievable, you know, what these guys do. It's also because I think go-karting nowadays is getting so expensive, even compared to when I was driving. There's no denying that even in go-karting nowadays, there's a lot of people with a lot of money. I would do the same if I had a son or a daughter that's racing. You want to have the best material, right? But the problem is, of course, when you have the money. So I feel like people that don't have the money or the possibilities in general, they are being left out or they just don't get the right opportunities. People give up. People switch to sim racing. I see a lot of kids, younger kids and drivers, they try to, yeah, through the sim racing world, try and make a career. They all dream of racing, of course, in real life. And I had that similar story with my driver that is, of course, now in GT3. He did go-karting, he did very well. But then basically that's where the road stops. Just trying to create this opportunity where, of course, I mean, getting all the way to Formula One is tough. It doesn't matter even if you're the best go-kart driver out there, but I want to be able to give them a career. I want to be able that they can become a factory driver, whatever category, and endurance, you know, I mean, how beautiful is endurance racing nowadays with so many manufacturers and giving people great career. For me, it's exactly that. I want to give the opportunity through sim racing. You can come and join us, learn, I would say, to become a professional driver in terms of how you operate from home or wherever you live before you even go into the real world where, you know, it's structured. You need to be with real people, not just only virtual. You need to, you know, stand your ground, and we try and teach that already from our sim racing team. It's a tough one. I would say, of course, the current regulations are not helping the longevity of my career in Formula One. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm very happy with my career anyway already in Formula One. I can easily leave it behind. I have a lot of other projects. Who actually cares when you're 60 or 70 years old if you have won 4 titles or 10? Because you're getting old, and I prefer to spend that with my family, you know, and that's something that over time and realization, I start to see. Last week I was skiing with good friends and family, and my sister's boyfriend. They're getting married, you know. So I realized like this is fantastic, you know, like being able to spend a few days together and appreciate life. Who cares? Like trying to go 24 times a year around the world, trying to hunt for another title. And when you're 60 years old or whatever, like I don't care if I win 4 or 8. I want to live my life. You only live once, and I don't want to spend 25 years of that in racing a car. I want to also just appreciate life and what is out there. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I sound a bit dramatic. I don't want to keep hunting or keep trying to live only for racing.